Hey everyone, alright, so what we're going to do in this tutorial is walk you through how to install Bitnami. Now, this is on a Mac, but a PC will be pretty much the same way. So what you're going to do is find your installer file. Mine has been downloaded here. I'm going to double click that install file, and it should take a moment to open and run. So for Mac, I've got a file that opens up where it says double click to install. PC will be very similar. At the end of the day, you should know how to install files on your computer. And when it's ready to go, it will give me an option to choose language. There we go. All right, so you're going to choose English as your language. Mac will be PC will be the same idea. And then you'll go through the install setup. Now, if you hit next on the first tab, now for PC, you won't see varnish. For Mac, you will. I have no idea what it is, how it's connected. Importance level 0, as long as they're all checked. So hit next. Leave this application where it's going to install it by default. So just leave it where it installs it, but remember where it installs it. So for the Mac, it's going to install it in the applications folder. For PC, it's going to install it in the C drive. So now you want to put in your username. So for this example here, I'm going to use my first name with capitals. So Matthew. Your email address, put any email address you want. It doesn't really matter, but I'm going to use my Fanshawe one. And for your login, this is important. Now your login cannot have capitals, and you're going to use your first name without a capital. So mine is going to be Matthew without capitals. The reason why is it makes it easier for me to access it when I do your midterm and your final exams or your final project as well. But essentially, keeping your login, regardless of how you're using it, keep it simple, make it easy. So this example, mine's just going to be Matthew. For the password, now obviously if you're doing this for a client, it'd be very different. But for me, I'm going to keep it really simple because I'm running it on my computer. And what I would like you to do, if you're doing it for your midterm or for your final, is make sure that your project, your password is comp5062 with COMP as capitals. So capital COMP5062. And then the same thing again, COMP5062. Remember that because you need that to be able to log in. So they hit next. And it's going to say, hey, choose the name of your blog. I'm just going to leave it as Matthew's blog. And also, you can change at any point as well, right? So once you've created the website, you can change those details, but you can't change your user login information. So be very mindful of that. When you get to the configure SMTP settings, do not check this. Just leave it unchecked. Now, PC users, you may be asked about ports, meaning choosing the ports for the server and choosing the ports for the database. Just leave them by the default as to what they are. Now it will say, do you want to deploy WordPress in the cloud, Bitnami? We're going to uncheck this. So uncheck it and click next. And then it will say setup is ready to begin. You're going to click next and it will start to install. It could take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes to actually maybe even 15, depending on how good or fast your computer is. But I'm just going to fast forward this so you can get past this install and then get started up again. Okay, welcome back. So now we've installed Bitnami, and the option you see here is it says Launch Bitnami WordPress Stack. So you can uncheck that or keep it checked. I would keep it checked and hit Finish. Now you're gonna have two things happen. One, Bitnami is gonna open up in your browser, and two, you should have your Bitnami Stack program running. So this program, this box here, should look very familiar if you're familiar with XAMPP or MAMP and so on. If you click Manage Servers, you can see the two servers that are running. Bitnami is usually pretty good that way, where it automatically installs WordPress, and you usually don't have any problems with the server running. But in general, you want to make sure these servers are running. Now, for example's sake, I'm going to close down this browser. But let's just say you've opened up your Bitnami server, you want to work on your program, and you're like, how do I bring up that web page again? You can actually click Go to Application, and Bitnami will automatically open up a web page for you where it will look like this. And it says Access WordPress. So what you need to do is hit this Access WordPress link, and then Bitnami will bring you to the actual front end of your WordPress. So remember, I left it as Matthew's blog, and this is essentially a clean install of WordPress with this 2017 theme. Now, an important thing, you have to be able to know how to access the backend of your website. So in order to do that, in the top URL in the very top here, all you're going to do is add in wp-admin and hit enter, and then it will bring you to the backend or the admin section of your website. Now, important thing here, you got to remember your username and password. So my login was Matthew, all lowercase, and my password was comp5062. So capital COMP 5062. I'm going to hit login, and now I've accessed the backend of WordPress. So that's enough for this tutorial. You've learned how to install Bitnami and access the backend of WordPress. We'll go into more tutorials soon, but hopefully you've learned a couple new things.